Remember that first time you used something like ChatGPT, that wow moment? It felt like pure magic, like you were literally talking to the future. But lately, have you kind of had that creeping feeling that maybe the magic is starting to wear off, that something's about to change?
Well, that really brings us to the big question we're tackling here. Is that amazing AI assistant that you've come to depend on, is it actually about to get a whole lot worse? To figure that out, we've got to look at a very predictable and honestly kind of unfortunate cycle that happens all the time in the tech world.
For a little while now, it feels like we've all been living in this AI honeymoon phase. I mean, when tools like ChatGPT just burst onto the scene, they weren't just new and cool, they felt genuinely revolutionary, didn't they? The whole experience was just seamless and unbelievably powerful. We started using it for everything, right? From writing simple emails to complex code. And the best part? It was either totally free or pretty darn cheap. It really was a golden age of AI for everyone. But as we've seen over and over again, these golden ages in tech, they don't usually last. So that feeling, that sense that the good times are coming to an end, it actually has a name. It's a concept that pretty much perfectly explains the predictable decay of all the online platforms we start to love. So, yeah, let's get into it. I'm sure you've seen this movie before, right? A new app or a new service comes out. It's amazing. All your friends are talking about it. And then, slowly but surely, it just starts to get worse. You see more ads, the features get clunky, and it feels like the whole point of it isn't you anymore. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a cycle. And here it is. The term is enshittification. Basically, it's the process where a platform starts out great, doing everything it can for its users. But then, over time, it pivots. It starts to focus on squeezing every last drop of value out of you and the businesses who want to reach you. It's a very deliberate shift from serving users to just extracting profit. And the whole process breaks down into these three really predictable stages. First, the company makes a product you love. They delight you, the user. Then they use your loyalty and your numbers to attract business customers. And finally, once everyone is locked in, they start turning the screws on everybody just to claw back all the value for themselves. It's a clear roadmap from awesome to awful. So how does all this circle back to ChatGPT and its creator, OpenAI? Well, they're facing an almost unimaginable amount of pressure to turn all that initial wow factor into cold, hard cash. Let's start with a number, a huge number, $730 billion. That is the kind of valuation that OpenAI is reportedly trying to justify to its investors. And look, you don't hit a number like that by just being a fun, free tool for people to play with. You get there by making massive, massive profits. And then there's the other side of that coin, the cost. OpenAI is burning through billions, that's billions with a B, every single month just to pay for the massive computing power to keep everything running. That is a business model that is just completely unsustainable. Something has to change. All that pressure really forces them down a well-worn path to making money. So what can we expect? Well, first, get ready for price hikes on the premium services. Second, don't be surprised if you start seeing integrated ads, maybe even sponsored answers in your chat results. And third, they'll likely start chasing those huge, lucrative, and sometimes controversial contracts with big corporations and even governments. So all of this is pointing to a really fundamental shift in the big picture. We're pretty much watching the end of one era and the beginning of a new one where the whole purpose of the platform starts to change right in front of us. Think about it this way. We've been in the user growth phase. That's when the main goal was to make the tool so magical and useful that everyone would jump on board. But now the pressure is pushing them into the profit extraction phase. And that's where the number one focus shifts away from your experience and towards shareholder value. So, okay, what does this actually mean for you, the person who uses this stuff every day? Well, for starters, it means your subscription costs are probably going to go up. It also means you might start seeing ads pop up in your conversations with the AI. But, the most important thing is that the tool's core reason for existing is changing. It's shifting away from helping you to making money. But here's the real kicker. This is not just a story about OpenAI. Not at all. This is a pattern. It's the standard playbook for Silicon Valley. OpenAI just happens to be the newest, and maybe the biggest, example of a platform that's getting crushed by the inevitable gravity of its own success. Which really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When we look at all the incredible digital tools we use, the ones that start out free and amazing,
We have to ask ourselves, in the world of tech, is free just another way of saying not profitable yet?